if you have a motorcycle, whatever, you want to get this. Because my husband spends so much money sometimes just going through those car washes. So I'm going to pick this up tonight because you don't have to do that. Okay, come on over here. I'm going to tell you about Dyson. If you have not heard about it, I don't know where you've been, because this is a company it's all about engineering. The best engineers in the world to give you a bladeless fan. So think about this. If you can't do this to your fan at home because it would basically mess up your fingers, I have this. In fact, I have mine in blue. Tonight we have the Dyson Tower Air Multiplier, and we have it in white and we have it in black. Every time we do a deal and give you $100 off, it practically sells out. So we're giving you $100 off tonight, so I want you to get your pen and paper ready to write down the item number. We're also giving you free shipping, and we're giving you 5 flex on everything, so it's only $54 to get home a fan that is so quiet. And I love that it oscillates, which means it just turns back and forth, because if you're like me and you're like having those personal summers, a little hot flash every now and then, I actually think this can save your marriage, because you're not cranking up the air conditioner and making your significant other just so cold. And it may not be about your personal summer. It could just be that one person sleeps hot, and this is so good rather than just cranking up in your electricity bill. So I want to bring in Gemma Kent because she is our wonderful brand ambassador, and I love this brand. It's a customer pick. Gemma, you look so beautiful. I haven't seen you in so long.
This is such a treat.
High five.
High five.
High five. This is so powerful.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's almost soothing. You know how people use a sound machine? But this is really, really quiet, but it's the air. Just feeling the air and just hearing it a little bit is so soothing.
It's, so comforting, right? And so this is the Dyson Bladeless Cooling Fan, okay? And it's air multiplication technology. So what it's actually doing, it's drawing the air at the base 360 degrees, and it's gonna amplify that airflow up to 15 times. So when we're telling you it's that Dyson Cool Fan, this is how. So we're going to draw the air in at the base. It's going to go to that mixed flow impeller. It's going to increase the velocity of the airflow so that when it makes it through to the loop, it's going to be amplified, and then it's going to be encouraged to exit through that loop through a little tiny aperture, which is just a fancy word for gap, at 1.8 millimeters, so that the air transcends over the foil like an airplane wing. And there comes our air multiplication technology. It's patented to Dyson, and how it works, like I said, it amplifies it up to 15 times. The air is going to join it around it and through it, as well as coming from within it. So that's why you get that uninterrupted stream of powerful airflow. I know we're getting to those hotter temperatures right now, and the rest of the country is joining us here in Florida. It's just getting hotter and hotter.
It's getting hotter and hotter, and if you want the white, only 600 of you can get it. It's beautiful. It is the most beautiful paint. You know, I think of this as a piece of art.
Yes. You know what's funny? James Dyson went to art school first.
Really?
So I always...
That's why they're so beautiful.
That's what I always say. Like, it's like a perfect marriage between art and design and engineering. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so you do leave it out.
You leave it out, I leave it out. It's in my bedroom, and I have the blue, and I have a little splash of blue in my bedroom.
Yeah.
So I love that this is peaceful, it's artistic, and some people don't even know what it is, Gemma, because they're used to a fan that looks like those ugly fans we have here that we'll show you in a moment. You also never lose your remote, and that is one of the features I love because it's magnetic.
Right, and because the remote as well, with you having that remote, you don't have to sit on top of the fan. You can be in your favorite chair, you can be snugly in your bed, and you know, we mentioned the sleep setting before, but if you go to bed one temperature, and then you wake up another temperature, you need that fan to switch off partway through.
Absolutely.
So now you can switch it off from 15 minutes all the way up to 9 hours. But I brought us over here, Debbie. We're gonna have a bit of fun. Okay. We're gonna bring the lights down in the studio because we want to show that projection capability. What does it mean when you're working with Dyson, an engineering company? So I'm gonna bring these lights down. I'm gonna go ahead and use some fog. And just look at this, Friday night, we're having some fun. Look at that projection capability. And what this is what I want to show you is that this is how you can really, truly feel the benefit. And we call it the Dyson Cool Tower Fan because the way that it manipulates the airflow, you've got 10 individual speed settings, you're going to feel this uninterrupted stream of powerful airflow so that you have that constant breeze. We must say, you know, it's not an air conditioner, but because of the way that it is manipulated, it's so powerful. When you go, where do we head to when it's hot? We go to the beach.
Right.
Because you have that constant breeze.
Right.
Now we're bringing the breeze. Yes. Now you're bringing the breeze in your home.
Absolutely. And you guys, and you know how you go to the ocean, right? And it's so peaceful. This is the most peaceful fan because it's quiet. It's not a choppy air. It's very smooth.
It is constantly smooth. And, you know, we were laughing earlier because Tina said something about, you know, the choppy air. And I said, you know what James Dyson called it? He said, you don't want to be slapped with the air. And, you know, it's turbulent airflow as well. So that's a waste of energy. We don't want to do that either. But removing the blades not only removes the you know, the choppy airflow, but it's a safety feature. Safe for little fingers, little toes, little tails. You know, I have 2 young daughters, 3 years old and just turned 8 months. I've got 2 little dogs. They have a Dyson bladeless fan in their bedrooms because I have that much confidence. And the other thing that comes, you know, with Dyson is that beautiful 2-year warranty. So you have the peace of mind that what we're chatting about today, you get, because that's the peace of mind when you work with Dyson.
And you guys, you can get Dyson, you know, you can go to their website, but if you want to get, and that's fine, you can get Dyson other places. We have it for $100 off. So I never like to just, you know, boss people around and tell you where to shop. But if you are shopping for a deal and you want to save money and you want to get simply one of the best, because I have 2 Dysons in my home. I have the bladeless fan and then I also have the fan heater option. And I think that if you're picking one right now as we're going into summer and you don't know how hot it's going to crank up. I'm from Texas, so I'm used to it being hot, and then I moved to Florida and it's hot. Now I'm getting ready to move to PA. But you know, it doesn't matter where I am now.
No.
So at some point in the middle of the night, I'm having to change the dial on this, and there are 10 settings. And you'll love that if you're a hot sleeper, because one minute you really need a blast, and then you get a little bit cold, and then you need to tone it down. There's not like, and I love that, it's not like 3 settings where it's like low, medium, high. You actually have 10 settings. It's not choppy air, it's quiet, because a loud fan can actually interrupt your sleep.
And interrupt anything else. You know, I love to be snugly in the blanket on the couch watching you know, a television program or watching a movie, even when it's 103 degrees outside. Well, I've got that beautiful fan, but I don't want it interrupting what's going on the television. I want it to be supporting me, making me feel comfortable. And that is the difference with Dyson. Remember, we've got all these different examples of fans here. Fans really, you know, they're pretty recognizable, but when you work with Dyson, they solve problems other people ignore. It's not top heavy, it takes up just around the size of a salad to a dinner plate, so if you know you can fit that. It's vertical. It's vertical, the design is beautiful, you're not going to hide it, and there's other things as well that I want to call out about the features. It's only 6.3 pounds. So you can go ahead and utilize it in the space that you're in. And then the cord length. I mentioned this earlier. I don't know who decides where to put plug sockets in homes, but they're never where you need them.
Never.
Never. You've got 6.5 foot of cord here, so you don't have to worry about that either. But you mentioned the remote control earlier.
You never lose it.
Oh my gosh.
Never lose it.
It's so convenient. And even if I give it a wobble, look at that.
It's magnetic. You see how that's magnetic? So the fact that you just put it right there.
Oh, your nails. I love your nails.
Oh, thank you. You see my nails? Oh, there you go.
It's so pretty.
But look at the speed of this. So when you see these big, bulky eyesore fans, and we've all had them, and if you have them, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but you can do better, and this is an affordable way. With a 2-year warranty, with free shipping, with 5 Flex, it's only $54. Let me look at it here and make sure my Flex Pay is right. $54 to get home an award-winning fan, a company known for engineering. And I want you to talk about that because there's been put a lot of thought into this.
Yes.
I mean, this is comparable to what, like an engine?
Yeah, so remember Dyson patented technology, and what people are really kind of shocked to know, you know, especially we have environmental care, we have floor care, we have beauty. It is a privately owned company. So a lot of their investment goes into research and development. So we have those global patents, we have the design, we solve the problems other people ignore, and the trust that you get from Dyson is that brand loyalty because it's going to work as we're describing. You know, you mentioned you've had your fan. Dare I ask how long you've had it? Because, you know, it's something that you don't toss away a Dyson, you re-gift it as you upgrade.
I've had my blue one, in fact, you know, probably after the first year I got here.
Oh, wow.
So this one might be a little bit taller. They've changed the design just a little bit.
You still using it?
I still use it. So I have one that goes back 7 years, and then I got a new one last year that also does heating and it does the fan. This is the black, but let me show you the white. If you want the white, I want to show you the white one here. We're getting very, very limited. Every time we offer this amazing deal where we give you $100 off Dyson, we always sell out. So the white is going to be the first one to sell out. How many do I have left, Rob? I mean, it's beautiful. We have so fewer than 600 left in white, $54 to get home, and free shipping. And it looks like a piece of art, and I love how it oscillates, which means it just kind of turns back and forth like this. It's very, very quiet, but very powerful air. And I think that that is what I really, really love about it, and I want you to show the power of it again, because when you turn it on, we actually save you guys on our bill, because, you know, I get really cold. So sometimes I may need it to be like 65 degrees, and my husband's like, we're not spending that kind of money.
Right.
So this actually saves us on electricity bill, and then I'm comfortable and I'm able to sleep. Look at that power.
Exactly. And remember, it's amplifying it up to 15 times. We're shifting 132 gallons, up to 132 gallons of air a second. Now, just think about that. A gallon of milk. We're talking about 132 of those every second. So with Dyson, you are working differently, because remember, they're an engineering company. They're going to solve problems other people ignore, so that you just have to switch it on. And let's just go through a moment how and where you can use it, whether it's in the kitchen, whether it's in your bedroom, whether it's in the study, whether it's in the TV room, your guest room. You know, when I have guests come to stay, I don't know what temperature they prefer in the home, but I would rather them not touch my thermostat. Pop it in their room. You know,
you're like my husband. Do not touch the
thermostat. I'm like a hotel. It's locked.
Well, you guys, because in the summer, you're like calling your electricity company, right? First he asked me, what have you been doing? But he will call them in a minute. Like, my electricity bill, you know, shouldn't be this high. And a lot of us, if we have something like a Dyson fan, that cuts down on your phone calls. In the past, we were arguing a lot, right? I feel like this can save your marriage. You know, when you start to go through, if you're premenopausal or menopausal, you know, women go through a lot, right? And so to be able to say, you know what, let's spend $54 to get home a Dyson fan so that I'm not miserable, you're not miserable, I'm not making our bill go up high, or maybe you're a hot sleeper, or maybe, you know, what I love is if your air goes out, your air conditioner goes out, this is a great backup plan. You have one in your bedroom and maybe have one in the living room. You know, I'm not saying don't get your air fixed if that happens, but this is a great backup plan because there are 10 modes. So I want you to talk about that.
Yeah, 10 individual airflow settings. And you just brought up an excellent point, because our air conditioning unit broke last summer.
We've been there before.
And you take it for granted.
Yes.
Boy, do you take it for granted. And guess what saved us? Our Dyson Bladeless fan. And it happened to my in-laws as well. Until you have experienced that, the stagnant air, the hot, stuffy air, it's so unpleasant, so uncomfortable. I mean, talk about making me miserable. You know, I'm so grumpy.
Cranky.
Nobody to come around me. I'm the most grumpy person. It's hot, sweaty, uncomfortable, chasing 2 children, 2 dogs. I mean, forget it. This, all you have to do, the remote control, you just switch it on. So all the engineering, all the technology, all the scientists, all of that, that's all done for you. All you have to worry about is switching it on with your handy-dandy remote control. You've got those 10 individual airflow settings. Go ahead and select your favorite one. And then you also can have it switch off for you 15 minutes through to 9 hours. But what I love about it as well is, as you can see, mine is actually oscillating side to side. Why is this important? Well, it gives that breeze effect. You know, we're talking about the summer now. It's absolutely going to get hotter. We all know this. So be proactive, not reactive. Have it ready for you. But as quick as it's been summer, it's going to move to the winter. And what do? Close the doors, close the windows, get our homes all stuffy and stagnant. You know, this you can use every single day, all the year through, without having to open your doors and windows.
And you guys, and if you're asthmatic and an allergist like me, you don't want to open up doors and windows. So this is great if you have allergies, because not only you're not going to have to open up doors and windows, but look at this. There's no blades to collect dust. So I like this. This is a beautiful piece of art. And I know it's not all about beauty. It really is all about comfort. But I like the fact fact that it looks beautiful with your decor. It's $100 off, and every time we have it as $100 off, that's when these really, really move. Because this is the creme de la creme. It is an expensive brand, but to give you $100 off and to give you free shipping, we have the best deal. So take advantage of it. This is affordable, and this is going to help you as we get those summer months and it starts to get hot. And if you know you have an old air conditioner and you don't know when that sucker's going to, clonk out, I would definitely get this home. I have one that has lasted me and lasted me. You don't have to, you're like one and done with this. There is a 2-year warranty, but because of the engineering and it's just so well made, you're not going to be replacing this in several years. I've had mine for 7 years.
I know. And
I have one for 7 years, and the other one I bought last year. They're two different because the other one also has a heating option. This is strictly in my bedroom for my hot and cold little thing I go with,
Yeah, it's just so convenient. And the one thing I wanted to mention about the black is called satin black.
Oh, it's pretty.
I think the design just allows you to keep it out so it's there for you, ready to use.
So you guys, it's beautiful. Get rid of the eyesore. Get rid of the dust collectors and the loudness. This is quiet. It is bladeless. And it's powerful with 10 settings, and I promise you will notice the difference just in how comfortable you are in your setting. So, Gemma, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes,
this
you look so lovely. You look so pretty.
So do you.
You look so gorgeous.
With your fancy nails.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you very much.